After a Tour de France that saw the re-emergence of Mark Cavendish, cycling's great sprinting generation seemed to suggest it was as strong as ever. But a running theme of this season has been the emergence of the next lot of fast men.
In Colombia, the races are very difficult, and almost everyone wants to climb. But I'm more interested in winning than climbing. So on the flat stages in Colombia, when the possibility came to win them, I was always working hard to do that.
When I first really followed the Tour de France was back in 2003, and it was the year that Baden Cook and Robbie McEwen were really fighting out for the green jersey. And I was really following that competition closely, obviously being two Australians as well. It was a pretty cool thing. I actually didn't really see myself as a sprinter up until I was probably 17, 18. I used to always think I was more of a climber growing up, but yeah, it was only, I guess, in the past 3 or 4 years that I've really started leaning towards sprinting. And
Cavendish's influence is evident in both Caleb Ewan and Fernando Gaviria's stories. The former's seriously low aero style catching the eye during his 2 Tour Down Under stage victories in January.
Yeah, I think, Cav was the first one to really start sprinting aero. I went in the wind tunnel probably a year and a half ago, and we actually tested all the positions. It's not really rocket science. Lower you go, the faster you're probably going to go, or the more aerodynamic you are. But to actually see the difference that it makes, it makes you realise, it's actually going to be a massive benefit for me to go lower. So I think that was a bit of an eye-opener as well.
Like Cavendish, Gaviria is a track racer at heart. The two will even fight it out for Olympic gold in the Omnium. And it was after impressing as a stagiaire that Cavendish encouraged his then Etixx-Quick team to sign the young Colombian.
I was alongside Cavendish and others, and it was difficult for me to think that this was actually my job. But then my opportunity came. I spoke with Mark Renshaw, and in the end I did well, and won against Andre Greipel, who's a fantastic racer. I really enjoyed it, not just because I won, but also because I won against the rider who won the most stages during last year's Tour de France.
Even at this early stage of their careers, the two's ambitions differ. While Ewan hopes to reproduce the success of his heroes McEwen and Cook, Gaviria has a more unusual dream for a pure sprinter.
I'm curious about racing on cobblestones. Those kind of races are impossible to finish without falling or hurting yourself, so I'm intrigued by them. They bring something different to cycling. Often I don't like stages that are plain and quite boring, or don't add anything. So these kind of races on cobbles require special skills, more concentration.
As the Gaviria and Ewan rivalry begins to take shape, there may be a very different beast about to join them, and the rider in question isn't your archetypal sprinter.
Yeah, I'm almost 2 meters tall, 199 to be exact, and a little bit over 90 kilos heavy. My biggest advantage is maximum power output. I'm not as aerodynamic as Caleb, for example, is, but on the other side I can use also my body and my weight to push against others and to stay in the position I want to have, and so this helps me actually to follow my lead out. And if it's a flat sprint and it's a really high pace, I think there are not many guys which can put out such a speed.
At this stage, Walscheid still only represents potential. A second place at the German National Championship, sandwiched between Andre Greipel and Marcel Kittel in June, however, hinted at such ability. Yet, as one of 6 Jan Alpecin riders injured in January's training camp crash, much of this year has involved sitting and watching his rivals.
No, there's for sure no frustration, because I think if you had this accident or not, it's still really, really good how the two of them perform. And I've got lots of respect for the results they already got, but On the other hand, I'm just lucky and I'm just happy to be able to race my bike again because it was really not clear, and this is everything I think about, and yeah, I just keep working on myself because for sure you see the concurrents, you see the other sprinters, but actually if you do your work, you will be there. I wanted to get back because I couldn't accept that my chances as a professional sportsman were gone because of a woman who changed the road direction, which was for sure a big tragedy. But yeah, I tried to work on, and I'm really happy to be able to do races again, but there's still a lot to do.
While Walscheid's break for a year is on hold for another season, the next sprint generation is already here.